Okay, ET Connections 1. I want to first of all say that I start this theory, if I can, which is not really any instruction or any teaching, is rather to put things in their place. First, I want to say that relationship with anybody, you know what relationship are, and that relationship with anybody in the universe is similar. Now, when you in relationship, I say that there are. If the relationship had two sticks, then uh, the closest side to you will be where you interact instantaneously with somebody that is in your present, both in the same place, in the same moment. This is the closest side. But then the other side is where, and when you are together, there are two sides to it, right? One side is where you talk to each other on a personal basis. They say you are this and you are that. You did this and you did that. You know, it's like negotiating of some nature. While the other side is where you both look through the same window and experiencing the same view. So then you could perhaps exchange your impression of the view. In ET relations, they are both, but to start with, I suggest, or they suggest, in whichever case, where they show you phenomena in the sky, when they show you light floating, when they show you different shapes and colors, which I have uh, encountered quite a lot, and also paint them, so investigate in them. So it is a kind of the second thing that I said, that they're showing me uh, something to reflect upon, which could be originally the way to transmit an idea. So they will portray, or they will create an image by which they will show me the concept, the principle that they want to show me, and I will interpret it the way that I interpret it and receive a perspective upon the same vision. It's like in the window, yeah? Now, when there is in the window, when you see is the machines flying, and you see all kind of technology that is similar to machines, so you both looking at the machinery of some mind that created those machines, and you, by looking at them, you reflect on them and you develop affiliation with that field of activity. While if you were looking into light passing in the sky or visual phenomena that you saw, or perhaps clouds, then you would perhaps develop another mutual vision by which you could perhaps get closer. Both sides could get closer. Now, when you get this a little further, that to say that if I read a piece of poetry and you read a piece of poetry and we've been looking into this piece of poetry together, we get an impression, and practicing a little bit with this piece of poetry, then we will create a bondage between us that is, in some weird way, we got connected between us, that is, in some weird way, we got connected closer than we had if we were negotiating our relationship. Because our relationship would establish based on mutual vista, mutual impression. If our impressions are deeper, and mutually deeper means both have experienced very deeply, so then our relationship became deeper. Okay. Now, if you take the individual, and you take the individual out of his group, out of his any affiliation to any field of interest that might be common ground to developing a relationship, if you take yourself or anybody out of his affiliation of any group, so you'll have an individual who, with his mind, with his intelligence, with his feelings, suggesting materials to share to somebody who is also interested in the same materials. It's an individual. It is not a group work. It's not a company that develops a spacecraft that will go and meet aliens. And perhaps then you will face some similar challenges. So then this similar challenges will unite you into a common action. In whichever case, even if I was making art pieces or the other one was making art pieces and you were looking, we were observing and investigation and experiencing this artwork. So then we'll be uniting based on our common impression. So after having been encountered for perhaps 50 years by all kind of unexplainable light phenomena, and then more advanced phenomena that I said I also painted them, and I was not experiencing them by myself, so I have a witness with me that has saw this, with whom I can consult exactly, because some pieces of these visions slipped away, and together we could recover the vision. Anyway, by experiencing so many times phenomena that were shown to me, with all the included material, with the whatever there is in it, and there are many layers and sides to creating such an image and to presenting it at all. And you would know the intent behind it before you have invested it enough. And then beside the intent, you have so many other sides to this show that is presented to you that you could go deeper and investigate further. So the more you go into this type of negotiating in relationship with whoever shows you stuff and you show them, you come to a point where you may want to regress from working under the impression of social phenomena, that is, uh, group phenomena or industry inclination. You want to say, if you work in developing technology, recovering alien technology, you would be participating in them with them in a way in their developing of this technology. So we will be partnering with them. Yeah, so the same way I'm partnering with extraterrestrial on areas in areas that uh, more about concept of physics and demonstrated visually sometimes. Some visions are too far away and I'm not in